The 2022 SCO summit, the biggest in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's more than 20-year history, has been called a historic one. 14 world leaders from the Eurasian region have gathered here in Uzbekistan's Samarkand to discuss a new world order that they now witness emerging as the West seems to steadily lose its influence and trust globally. The voice of non-Western-centric alliances like the SCO is louder than ever.
The food crisis is among the key problems addressed during the summit in Samarkand.
Global supply chains.
The pandemic and the Ukraine crisis have caused disruptions in global supply chains. As a result, the entire world is facing an unprecedented food and energy crisis. The SCO must take efforts to develop reliable, resilient and diversified supply chains in our region. For this, better connectivity is no doubt needed. But at the same time, it is also important that we give each other full transit rights.
Not only SCO countries, as some of the world's largest grain producers and exporters have addressed the problem, but say they are ready to offer a solution.
Russia is increasing grain exports to world markets. This year it will be 30 million tons. Next year we will increase it to 50 million tons. 90% of our food goes to the markets of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. We know how important fertilizers are for solving the food shortage. The day before yesterday, I also informed Mr. Guterres about the 300,000 tons of Russian fertilizers piled up in EU seaports. We are ready to transfer that free of charge to developing countries. I would like to ask the UN Secretariat to influence the European Commission's decision, not in words but in deeds, to demand from their colleagues in the European Commission that they lift these obviously discriminatory restrictions on developing countries and provide access for Russian fertilizers to those markets as well.
In the summit's final document, the SCO declares economic sanctions, if not imposed by the UN Security Council, are incompatible with the principles of international law. Putin has denounced the restrictions as economic selfishness.
A striking example of this selfishness is the European Commission's decision to lift sanctions on Russian fertilizers. It turns out that only they can buy our fertilizers. And what about the world's poorest countries?
Although often referred to as an anti-West alliance, the SCO claims to not be against any other country or bloc. But that doesn't mean it is without enemies.
As the world is entering a new, turbulent phase, we must grasp the trends of the times, strengthen solidarity and cooperation and contribute to building a closer SCO community with a common future. We must support each other to ensure security and development, prevent external forces from inciting color revolutions and jointly oppose interference in the internal affairs of other countries under any pretext.
Iran is getting ready to become the 9th member state and prove it shares the SCO family's values.
In recent years, economic and political multilateralism has been seriously threatened, and the American government is trying to impose its internal demands and laws on the international community and counter its sovereignty and independence with all its bullying, and has to put the extensive use of coalition on its agenda. Undoubtedly, American unilateralism seeks to hold countries back from their independent path of development.
Today, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization unites 20 countries with a combined population of 3.5 billion people. That is half of the world, with 5 more states, including 3 Arab countries now announced to be soon joining the SCO. The alliance is forging ahead to become global superpower that simply cannot be ignored. Marif Noshna RT from Samarkand in Uzbekistan.